gate. Go repair it.
Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be giving you my review for Overkill's The Walking Dead. Now this is going to be a little bit of a different sort of review video for the channel, because typically when I cover games on this channel, they're games that I mostly enjoy, or tend to have an 80 to 90% favorable opinion of, and while I may have some criticisms or complaints about them, for the most part I tend to be of the mind that they're generally speaking likely to be worth the time and money of most consumers being targeted by them. Overkill's The Walking Dead is a bit of an exception to that rule, as it's a game that I have a very mixed opinion about. On one hand, there are certain aspects of the game that I do genuinely enjoy and think are at least somewhat interesting, such as the character progression and loot system, and certain aspects of the design of various levels within it. However, this game sports a litany of issues, both from a technical and a design standpoint, that in my opinion sadly conspire against its overall effectiveness. Now, to address the elephant in the room right off the bat, it's pretty much impossible to talk about this game in a critical sense without mentioning the fact that it is being sold as a $60 full-price AAA game experience. And that really presents the single biggest issue in terms of me being able to comfortably or confidently recommend this game to a general audience. The simple fact of the matter is that as far as I'm concerned, and based on several hours that I've spent with the game thus far, my overall take on this game is that it struggles to approach the level of quality and consistency and polish that one would generally expect from a game being sold for $60 in 2018. Be it graphical rendering issues, hit registration or collision detection issues, animation prioritization problems, or the pervasive and frequent sense of jankiness that permeates just about every aspect of the overall package. There are just so many instances where the veneer of this game's professional presentation simply doesn't hold up to any serious scrutiny. In a lot of ways, Overkill's The Walking Dead feels like an early access title. And to be fair, if this game were being sold as an early access title for say $20 to $30, a lot of the technical problems with it, such as its often excruciatingly long load times and its often questionably inconsistent mechanics, would be a lot easier to forgive, and I might also be a lot more hopeful that they might be addressed at some point. To be fair, the publisher of this game does have a fairly consistent and positive track record when it comes to post-release game support. You need look no further than Payday 2 to see their commitment to sticking with a product long past the early days of its release. But whereas Payday 2 I felt was a generally strong game, simply in need of refinement, Overkill's The Walking Dead strikes me more as a subpar to mediocre game in almost desperate need of retooling to achieve its full potential. I think another problem for me with this game on a personal level is that there are no really strong peaks in my mind to compensate for the many valleys that occur within it from a technical and design standpoint. A lot of times when a game suffers from such issues, I find myself able to look past them to a certain extent to embrace the frequent good or great things that the game might also do. But with this particular title, I've really struggled to put my finger on or identify any instances of greatness or excellence within it. There are certainly some clever and interesting ideas here, but oftentimes their execution is so poor or rough or otherwise compromised that they never really get the chance to flourish or elevate the overall experience. At the end of the day, I think for me, this is a game that I would only recommend a wait and see approach on for the most part. If you are a huge Walking Dead fan or a huge fan of cooperative, survival-oriented first-person shooters with money to burn and an awful lot of patience, this might be an experience worth having in its current form. But I think for the vast majority of people, a much better and more satisfying strategy would be to wait for the inevitable patches and price drop to turn this game into a more interesting and palatable value proposition. I could absolutely foresee a point in time, perhaps 3 to 6 to 8 months in the future, where a lot of the kinks have been worked out of this overall package, both in terms of its technical implementation and its price point. But as it stands right now, I simply can't recommend it generally. Having said all that, I can honestly say that I genuinely do not hate this game. The simple truth of the matter is that if the game had no redeeming characteristics or no worthwhile qualities to it, you wouldn't be seeing a video about it on my channel, as it is my aforementioned policy to not cover games that I don't think deserve it. But I do have to say, of all of the games that I have covered on the channel these many years, this is definitely one of the ones that has come the closest to not making the cut, for the many aforementioned reasons. Obviously, I don't really take any pride or joy or happiness in criticizing or otherwise calling out someone else's work. And with the number of good to great games that go unnoticed or underappreciated every year, I'm always hesitant to spend time covering anything that might take attention away from some of those hidden gems. But at the end of the day, I am having just enough fun with this game and getting just enough of an entertainment value out of it that I felt like it was worth at least sharing my feelings on it with you folks. Despite its copious issues, I would certainly say that Overkill's The Walking Dead is not a bad or terrible or irredeemable game. I think the most fair and objective thing that I can honestly say about it is that it is a disappointing game. Will it be that way forever? That's something I really can't answer. But as somebody who now owns the game, I'm certainly hopeful that that won't end up being the case. And with that, I am going to bring this video to a close. Hopefully you folks have enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, be sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Some days I feel safe here, and some days I feel like it's all hanging on a thread.
I got your back! You are getting by me!
Last thing you need is a horde coming after you.
I can do this in my sleep.
Come on! Oh, thank you.